Hello everyone and welcome to this Java tutorial for beginners. In this video we will explore one of the most important concepts of Java, that is static keyword in Java. And specifically we will gain an understanding of static variables in Java. So without further ado, let's get started. Now let us understand static variables with the help of an example. So consider this example. Here we have our class A, which contains two variable name and number. And in our main method we have the instances of our class A, which is A1 and A2, right? And what I have done is I have set the values of the individual objects. For A1 we have the name as Gaurav and number as 23. And similarly for A2 object we have set the name as Ram and number to 12. And in our last two lines we have just printed the values of individual objects, right? So let me run this program first. Now let me execute the program. So let me execute it. And as you see, we have the output as, for first object we have the name as Gaurav and number as 23. And similarly for our second object we have name as Ram and number to 12, right? Now in the same program what I have done is, after our line 18 I have added three new statements. So on our line 20 what I have done is I have modified the the number variable of our A2 object. So in short what I have done is I have set the number variable to 14 for our A2 object, right? And below that on our line 22 and 23 I have just printed the the name variable and the number variable of our objects A1 and A2 respectively, right? So let me run this program once again. Now let me compile and execute the program. So let us execute it. And as you see we have four lines of output. So first we have this initial outputs, that name is Gaurav and number 23. Then below that we have name Ram, number 12. And after that once again we have the A1 object values printed. So we have name Gaurav and number 23. But in our the statement, last statement, what we have done is we have modified the value of the instance variable number for A2 object. So the name remains the same, that is Ram, but your number is changed to 14, right? So now let's talk about static variables in Java. So in our program what I will do is I'll make one of the variables of our class A static variable. So what we need to do is we need to simply write this static keyword and our number variable becomes the static variable, right? So what I will do is I'll run the program once again and let us see the outputs. Now let us compile and execute the program. So let me execute it. And as you see we have the outputs which were not expected. So for this statement the number value is 12 instead of 23. And similarly for this this statement the number value was expected to be 23, but now it's 14. So let us see why this happened. So if we got the different outputs for our number variable for A1 object, because our number variable is a static variable. So whenever we declare a variable as static, it becomes a static variable. And one of the most important property of a static variable is that it is shared among the objects of the same class. And here the number variable is a static variable. So whenever we set or modify the the static variable, the changes are applicable to all the objects of that class. So that's the reason we got the output as A1.number as 12, right? And similarly here what I have done is I have modified this static variable. See, we got the output as A1.number as 14 and A2.number as 14 as well. Now what I have done is I have simply created the instance of class A and called it A3, right? And I have also set the value of this name variable to Raj for our A3 object. And below that we have our print statement, so where I just print the name and the number, right? And the output should print as Raj and 14 because our number is a static variable, right? And it is already set with the value of 14, right? So let me run this program now. So let me execute the program. And as you see on our last line, we have the output as Raj and number 14, right? So in our program, we got the output as name, Raj and number 14, even though we did not explicitly set the value of our number variable for A3 object. So this is because of our static variable number. And we have already set the last modification what we did to our number variables was to we set the number variable to 14. So that's the reason we were able to access that variable even though we did not set any value, right? So it was accessing the last value which was set, right? So if I would have copied this statement here and let me paste it over here. So now our value would have been name Raj and a3 dot number would have been 12, right? And similarly if I would have pasted it over here, so our value would have been Raj and the number should be 23. All right, so that is it for the today's video. And don't forget to subscribe for more Java programming videos like this. And I will see you until next time.